It's always a good feeling when someone remembers you based on your hobby. You know, if you're really passionate about something, whether it be you like cars, you pull up in a nice car and someone's like, hey, I remember you because you always drive a nice clean car. Or watches, you always wear a nice watch. Or just clothing, you're always dressed nice. You always got on a nice pair of shoes, right? Whenever someone says to you, hey, I remember you because of X, Y, and Z, something you're really passionate about, it's kind of a cool feeling, and it's a little bit reassuring, you know, makes you justify your intense purchasing of your favorite hobby just a little bit. So today we're going to be going over 10 fragrances that make you unforgettable. So these are the type of ones where they're going to leave a lasting impression on someone. We're not looking at Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel or Dylan Blue or insert any other more basic one, generic one, Acqua di Gio, right? While those all are great fragrances, people are more likely to smell those all over the place. These are all different. They have something that's just unique about them, each in their own way, but they're not too far into that direction where they smell weird, right? These are still going to be mass pleasers. They're still going to be easy to wear, but they're very memorable for one reason or another. So I will link these all down below to discounters as per usual. So if I'm referencing prices, it's going to be discounted prices when at all possible. I want to start off with Nuit d'Issy Parfum by Issey Miyake. This one here has got leather, vanilla, and tonka bean. Big fan of this. A more recent pickup for me. I don't know why I've waited so long. But they've got, I think it's an EDP or maybe even an EDT, and then the Parfum. And this Parfum version is what I'm focusing on here. And it smells incredible. So good. Leathery and slightly smoky. You get a vanillic sweet undertone in here. This stuff smells amazing. It's kind of a perfect balance of having kind of a sweet character and some depth to it, kind of a mysterious edge, but then there's also this freshness to it to kind of balance it out, to keep it from tipping too far over that scale into something that could be potentially offensive to someone, you know, but it does have just enough that uniqueness to where this one definitely stands out and is going to make you smell amazing. This next one is an absolute beast in a bottle. I've been testing this one to finally publish my review on it. I've had it for a while and just recently got around to actually taking it out of the box and test it. And so expect a review coming up on this one soon if you've been wanting one. But just before recording this video, I sprayed it up in the air just to kind of refresh, and I can still smell it. I mean, this stuff is a potent, absolute beast of a scent. It is crazy. It's Al Haramain's Amber Oud. This is the Ruby edition. So anything with this coloration of bottle and even the name kind of alluding to a red, you kind of already have an idea of what it's going to be about clone wise, you know, because it is from a clone brand. This is a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 by MFK. More specifically for me, the Extrait, which is focusing some more on this almond accord that the EDP doesn't have. And I think it's really safe to say that Al Haramain was not hiding that. I mean, look at the similarities of these bottles. I mean, they did not hold back. Now, again, just because it looks the same as the Extrait over the EDP, that's not my reasoning behind why I think it smells similar to this one. Like, scent character alone, to me, this one has some of that almond and some added richness and depth that makes it closer to the Extrait rather than the EDP, but it's still within the same BR540 ballpark altogether. You can get 4-ounce testers of this one here for about $59. That's probably not going to last very long, so hit the link down below, the second link, and buy that up before it's sold out, because that's a great deal on the 4-ounce. And Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait, you're looking at what? I don't know, $450+ and then upwards of $700 or $800 for that big bottle. The stuff is crazy expensive. Just buy this one instead. And it's also so unique that people are guaranteed to remember you based off of that scent alone. Very distinct, very different, but still mass pleasing. Next up, Bulgari Man Wood Neroli. It's got woods, of course. It's got neroli, obviously, and some nice citrus up top. A little bit of this sweet, sugary citrus in here. Smells great. Big fan of this one. I've liked it for a long time. Very crisp and refreshing and uplifting, and it's just a happy smelling scent. I really like it. Smells great in spring and early summer, or even later summer, I guess. And so while it's a little bit out of season for its prime time, you can still pull this one off and smell great in the fall and winter time, especially climate controlled environments where the temperatures are going to be too cold. You know, it really kind of has this uplifting and nice smell about it. So if you have the winter glooms, right, coming into winter, if you're just tired of all the gloomy weather and the cold, you can wear something like this and it's going to brighten up your day, and it's going to brighten up everyone else's day around you. But there's something about this one that's just very easygoing. It smells great and has this nice memorable quality about it. I don't have to smell this to remember what it smells like. I can just think of it. There's a lot of fragrances where I can't necessarily remember how they smell until I smell them because they're forgettable. Really big fan of this one up next, Boss Bottled Oud by Hugo Boss. Now this one's got apple, cinnamon, and of course a small amount of oud in here, but it's very designer level oud and nothing to be afraid of. This has that Boss Bottled apple pie, cinnamon, sugary, sweet, gourmand, delectable smell to it that we all love, just with a little bit better performance here. And then the oud, a slight amount, giving it a bit of a different twist. And that's kind of what gives this one some extra character over the original and the intense and that sort of thing. That's kind of why I like this one. You know, it has this nice little different quality about it where most people would be wearing the original. You're going to be wearing this one, and it sets it apart just enough to make it different. We'll go with the Chanel up next. We have Egoiste, just the original, not platinum here. And so this one has sandalwood, rosewood, cinnamon, and tobacco. Very woods heavy. It's a warm and spicy, very masculine men's scent. Going to be more classic, more mature compared to a lot of the other fragrances in this video, but also just in general, right? This is a different style of men's perfumery. Kind of same with Platinum Egoiste. You know, that one's a barbershop aromatic fougere. That kind of has a bit of an older school smell to it as well, but this one almost even more so. But yet it's still a Chanel. And one thing that I've always admired about Chanel is they're able to make fragrances like this, but still make them smell modern in one way or another. And that's what they did here. If you want something undeniably masculine and something that stands out, check this one out. Great quality, great performance. You can't go wrong with the OG Egoiste. Polo Double Black. This one has mango, has coffee, there's some black pepper in here. So it's all about kind of the coffee mixture. Tonka bean as well, so it's kind of like this dusty, benzoin-ish tonka bean smell, and then some dry roasted coffee in here. So that's kind of how it comes across, and it smells great. It is a designer level bare bones coffee scent. Doesn't have a bunch of additional things to it to make it super crazy and wonky. It's just pretty simplistic overall, and that's what I like about it. Even though it is simple, it has just a little bit of a different twist and its own unique character to make it stand out. Really, really nice one that you can get on discounters for not a horrible price, and it's one that frankly most people probably wouldn't really be gravitating towards, so you're going to be smelling unique. Next up, Versace Pour Homme Oud Noir. This one's got oud, it has saffron, some other woods, some peppers and spices in here. This one gets compared to Tom Ford's Oud Wood a little bit, and I definitely do see the comparison, but it's even more designer level than Oud Wood, even though Tom Ford is a designer. It's on the private blend. Oud Wood will be a little bit more enthusiast level, even though it's still easy to pull off. But the Versace DNA here just makes it even easier to wear, even more likable, and probably even more mass pleasing. You really don't have to worry about this. Just because it has oud in the name and it's up front and center doesn't mean it's going to be something that's super unwearable and weird smelling. I mean, this smells amazing. Nice, dry, smoky woods in here, but also some cleaner wood accords as well. So it's very wearable and very, very pleasant. If you want to smell different than the vast majority of people and you want to stand out, go for this one. A lot of guys out there would not be brave enough to wear this, and that's where you come in to fix that. Really big fan of this one here. It's a nice cheapie too on discounters. Lacoste L'Homme. This is the intense. It's got orange and rhubarb in here. Some other creamy citruses, like a lemon accord in here as well. Some musk, some very light woods. It's all about that orange rhubarb musk combination. It's creamy, clean, slightly sweet. Smells really nice, especially in the springtime. For whatever reason, it reminds me of that time. But it's another one of those situations where it can be worn fall, winter, summer, really doesn't matter too much. The point with this one is it's very wearable and has this mixture that works really well. And you guys know what I'm going to say, fresh and sweet. You have that combination in a scent, and it's almost always going to be set up for success when it comes to getting positive feedback. And with this one here, has a little bit of a different twist about it. This DNA is a bit different, so people are going to remember that. Next up, one of my all-time favorites that I'm sure some people get tired of seeing, but I just don't. I don't get tired of talking about it, and I don't get tired of smelling it or wearing it either. Mustache Eau de Parfum by Rochas. So vanilla, benzoin, and pink pepper, right? Get that out of the way. This is YSL Tuxedo on a big budget. Tuxedo is $250 plus shipping and tax, and this is usually $40 to $50 for 125 milliliters. Presentation is nice, very solid glass, nice kind of gunmetal gray cap, I think is what you would classify that as, and just looks very aesthetically pleasing, and the smell is even better than this presentation here, which you would hope for, and it is. I mean, it smells so nice. It's one that I've been a fan of ever since I first got it, because I was a fan of Tuxedo ever since I first smelled it. But it's so expensive, and it's hard to recommend because not everyone wants to spend that type of money. You can get this on a big budget. You're going to smell different. You're going to smell very unique because, again, most people out in the world aren't going to be wearing Tuxedo, and a lot of people still probably won't know about this unless they're heavily invested into the community. So that gives you a really cool position to be able to pick something up for not a lot of money and wear it and still smell different, but get great feedback and just have people remembering you because of how distinct this one is. It's really cool stuff. We'll finish it with another cheapie, finish strong here, Bentley for Men Absolute. Now this one has a ton of cedar wood, dry cedar wood, incense, pink pepper, smoky accords galore, and dryness. It's what this is about, and that sounds weird. You know, you smell something like this, and then you understand what people are talking about when they say a fragrance smells dry. You know, it has a dry cedar wood accord. Smell this and you'll know exactly what said people are talking about, because when I first heard that, before I had smelled anything like this or Gucci Pour Homme 1 or any other predominantly cedar wood based scent that's of a drier variety, I was like, how can something smell dry? You're spraying a liquid, right? But then it all starts to make sense here. Cedar wood of the dry variety kind of almost gives off this pencil shaving smell, which sounds kind of weird, but it's not that weird. Smoky, masculine, slightly earthy. And one thing I've been saying since the beginning is this one here, the opening, almost has a little bit of a boozy accord, almost like a whiskey rum accord off the top. You don't really smell it in the dry down, but when you first spray it, I get that. And it's not even just the perfumer's alcohol to me. It's like literally almost smells exactly like whiskey, just for a little bit there off the opening. And then you get into the woods and the incense and the pink pepper, and it starts to dry out and get smoky and that sort of thing. It's kind of a cool little twist about this one. For $30, this one has an immense amount of depth, and you heard it here. It smells very similar to the discontinued Gucci Pour Homme 1, the original. Sad to see that one go because that's incredible stuff. But it's hard to get super sad when you can get this for $30 and it does almost the same thing. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 fragrances that will make you unforgettable. If you want to stand out and smell different but have people remember you because of your scent, you could go for something like these. It doesn't have to be these necessarily, but these could act as a guideline. You can kind of look at these and then see what I was thinking about when I was choosing these, and then apply that to your own collection and try to pick out some things that are distinct in their own way. Links will be down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.